Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Pastor Jeff. We're going to pick up in Romans chapter 13, starting at verse 8. It says, "Owe no one anything except to love each other, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law." So when it says, "Owe no one anything," what it's talking about is we're making a jump here. We just came out of verses about taxes and about money. Then we say when he says owe anything, now he is talking both here about money and about anything else too. I'll explain. Owe no one anything. Pay your bills. Now, Scripture doesn't say you can't borrow money to buy a house. That's not what we're talking about here. But it's to pay your bills, to be a good steward of your accounts, to not avoid paying someone because you don't want to part with the money. And the world can get that way where it's like, this guy's owed me $20 for a year and he won't pay me back. Take care of it. Oh no, and you don't want anybody to have anything bad to say about you because you borrowed money and didn't pay them back. And so pay your bills. So it says, owe no one anything except to love each other. That's what we owe. That's what we owe everyone, to love each other. And Scripture talks a lot about love in a lot of places. And again, when you're reading this verse, you need to take all of Scripture. And it says, love your enemies, love your neighbor. And talks about loving everyone. And there's no exception for that. So it says, except to love each other. That's the most important thing we owe anyone, is what Paul is saying here, is to love each other. And it's not just talking about loving other Christians or loving your family. It's talking about loving everyone. Except to love each other, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. And when the man asked Jesus what the most important commandment was, Jesus said to love the Lord thy God, and to love each other was the second, loving everyone. So it says in verse 9, for the commandments, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and any other commandment are summed in this word: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love. You don't sin against them. You don't harm somebody if you love them. You don't steal from them if you love them. You don't murder them if you love them. You don't talk bad about them behind their back if you love them. You don't push them in a hole if you love them. You don't harm them if you love them. You love them. You treat them right. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love everyone. And in verse 10 it says, love does no wrong to a neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. The law was all about love. First and foremost, loving God. Second, about loving everyone around you. And again, springboarding off of what Paul said earlier about how we're to live in harmony and peace. If you want to do that, you must live in love. There is no harmony and no peace with those who you don't love. It's contrary. Love everyone. It's no more important commandment. And that's the Christian's attitude. And if you get up and you go to work and there's people you can't love, that is your problem, not theirs. They say, well, they don't deserve it because they're mean, or because they cuss a lot, or because they do this, or they hurt me in this way or that way. You're responsible to love them. Jesus died for a world that hated him because he loved them. And we are to live our lives in a way that shows love to everyone, not excluding those who we think don't deserve it, but to love everyone. If Jesus could love a world that hated him, we can love the few individuals in our life who we don't like. We can still learn to love them. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.